English short stories. The second story, A Very Unusual Excursion. Chapter 1, The Creature. خب داستانهای کوتاه انگلیسی. داستان دوم، یک سیاحت سفر بیرون شهر خیلی عجیب، غیر معمول. قسمت اول، چپتر 1، The Creature. مخلوق. Creature یعنی یه چیزی که نمیدونیم چیه، یه موجود زنده که نمیدونیم چیه. خب طبق معمول این داستان ها میریم برای یادگیری کلمات، این کلماتی که آبی نوشته شده. بعد برمیگردیم داستان رو به انگلیسی میخونیم. شما سعی کنید که جنرال آیدیا رو بگیرید، بعد سامرای رو میخونیم. یک سری سوال هم هست که میخونیم و با هم جواب بدیم. Vocabulary. Lake. A large area of water with land all around it. دریاچه. Mild weather. Weather that is quite warm and comfortable. هوای معتدل. Hiker. A person who enjoys long walks in the countryside. کوهنورد ما میگیم ولی نمیشه بهش گفت کوهنورد. کسی که پیاده روی رو خیلی دوست داره. پیاده روی های بلند مدت تو طبیعت. Backpack. A small bag used to carry things around on the back. کوله پشتی. Wood. An area where a lot of trees grow closely together. ما به این میگیم جنگل، ولی منظورش جنگلیه که معمولاً از یه مدل درخته و درخت خیلی تو همن. این به معنی چوب نیست اینجا. Excursion, a trip or outing. همونطور که گفتم سفر خارج شهر برای گشت و گذار. Shout. To say something very loudly or to make a loud noise with your voice. فریاد. Path. A narrow route across a piece of ground that people walk or ride a bicycle along. مسیر، راه. Split. To go in two different directions. تقسیم شدن، جدا شدن. Creature. Any living thing that is not a plant. مخلوق. Strange. عجیب. نامعمول. Safe. Unlikely to be harmed or hurt. امن. Wood. The hard substance that trees are made of. چوب. Scared. Frightened. ترسیده. Ugly. Not pleasant to look at. زشت. Boat. A vehicle for traveling over water. قایق. Shore. The area of land next to the sea or next to the lake. ساحل. منطقه اطراف دریاچه یا دریا. Are you kidding? A question asked to express this disbelief or check if someone is joking. شوخی میکنی؟ Row. To pull a boat through water using long wooden sticks. پارو زدن. It's a verb. Explore. To travel around a place and find out what it is like. سیاحت. گشتن. جستجو کردن. Dust. A powder of dirt on a surface or in the air. گرد و غبار. Footprint. The mark that a foot leaves on the ground. رد پا. Disappear. If someone or something disappears, the person or thing goes somewhere and cannot be seen or found. ناپدید شدن. Let's go to the article. خب من این رو براتون میخونم. اگر باز کلمه ای داشت که به نظرم براتون سخت میومد بهتون میگم. نمیخوام همه رو ذره به ذره کلمه به کلمه بفهمید، متوجه بشید. میخوام که سعی کنید جنرال آیدیا رو بگیرید. اگر بتونید این کار رو انجام بدین، آروم آروم عادت بکنید، خیلی درکتون راحت تر میشه. The creature. Chapter 1. The creature. Lake Ullswater is in the northwest of England. It's in a well-known area called the Lake District. Lake District یعنی منطقه دریاچه. It's a popular place for families to visit. People often go there to take photos. They also go to enjoy nature in the summer season. The Lake District is a region, منطقه, ناحیه, with very mild weather. It's often cloudy and summers aren't very hot. Because of this, hikers love Lake Ullswater. Sylvia is one of these hikers. She lives near Lake Ullswater. She loves nature and she loves hiking. She often goes hiking in June and July. The weather is warm, but not too hot. Every weekend, she puts her things in a backpack and hikes in the woods near the lake. Sylvia's good friend George likes hiking too. He often goes with Sylvia. Last weekend, they decided to go for a hike near Lake Ullswater. But in the end, it becomes a very unusual excursion. Sylvia and George met at the start of the walk. "Hi, Sylvia," George shouted from far away. "Hello, George," answered Sylvia. "I'll be right there," shouted George. He ran towards Sylvia. "George, slow down. You will get tired." "George, آروم برو. خسته میشی." "Don't worry. I brought energy drinks for the hike," said George. He pointed to his large backpack and laughed. The two friends were very happy to see each other. They talked a little, then they started their excursion. After a few miles, the path changed. It split into two paths. "Which direction should we go?" asked Sylvia. "To the left or to the right?" "Let's go left," replied George. "Well, I think I'd prefer to go right." "Why?" Sylvia looked at the woods near the left path. Then she answered, "There are stories about that path. Some people saw a big hairy creature there." Hairy creature یعنی یه موجود پشمالو، یه موجودی که پر موه بدنش. "Really? Do you believe those stories?" I don't know. I guess we could go that way," said Sylvia. She looked worried. "Come on, Sylvia. Let's try it." George encouraged her. ببینید این encouraged یعنی اونو تشجیعش کرد، تهییجش کرد، یعنی ترغیبش کرد که این کار انجام بده. ولی اینکه این کلمه رو بفهمید یا نفهمید کلمه بلاکینگ نیست، یعنی تأثیر ایجاد نمیکنه داستان. Sylvia gave him a worried look. Then they walked down the left path. An hour later, George and Sylvia were still on the path. There were trees all around them. It was late afternoon. Sylvia asked George, "Do you think there are strange creatures in these woods?" "I don't think so." "Why not?" "Well, I've never seen a strange creature. Have you?" "Not in these woods." "Right, so that means we are safe." Sylvia laughed. "I guess so." They continued their hike. Several miles later, the two friends were still walking. The sun was low in the sky. Suddenly, they walked out of the woods. In front of them was the lake. George and Sylvia looked around. Near the lake was a house. The house was made of wood, and it looked very old. Look, George, called Sylvia. Look over there. Where? Replied George. There is a house. It's made of wood. Oh, I can see it. Let's go and have a look. What? But what if someone's there? Don't be scared, Sylvia. I'm sure no one will be there. The two friends walked towards the house. Before they went in, they looked around the place. The house looks like it was built a long time ago. Said Sylvia, look at the state of the windows. The glass is very old, and the wood is really old too. Yes, replied George. I'd say that it's at least 50 years old. But I wouldn't say it's ugly. There is something that I like about it. George looked around. Suddenly he called, Hey, Sylvia, come here. Near the lake there was a small boat. It was old and made of wood. It was standing in the water near the shore. George looked at Sylvia. Let's get in it. Are you kidding? Replied Sylvia. Why? We can go to the middle of the lake. I don't know. Come on, let's go. It will be fun. Okay, said Sylvia. She didn't sound happy. Sylvia and George got into the boat with their backpacks. They slowly rowed to the middle of the lake. Sylvia looked around. It's so nice here, she commented. Yes, I know. There are lots of trees, and we can still see the sun perfectly. I'm so happy we came out here. Let's have something to eat. Do you want something? Of course. What do you have? Sylvia took several cookies and sandwiches out of her backpack. George took out the energy drinks. What do you want? The sandwiches look good. Sure, help yourself. خود پذیرایی کن. Help yourself. Thank you, Sylvia. The two friends ate their sandwiches in the middle of the lake. Suddenly, they heard a noise. Did you hear that? George said. Yes, I did, Sylvia replied. She sounded scared. I think it's coming from the house. So do I. Let's go and look. Sylvia looked at George in surprise. Seriously? She said. Yes, come in. George and Sylvia rowed back to the shore. They put their backpacks on. Then they slowly walked to the old wooden house. Sylvia, I want to go in the house. Why? Aren't we supposed to be hiking? Out in the clean air? Not in houses? Well, yes, but in the woods there are lots of interesting things. I like to explore interesting things. I'm not sure. Come on, let's go into the house, George suggested again. Finally, Sylvia agreed. Sylvia and George took a few steps towards the house. They opened the door and went in. Everything inside the house was very old. No one had lived in it for a very long time. There was dust everywhere. Sylvia, look at this, called George. His voice sounded strange. What? Here, next to the window. Sylvia looked. On the floor, in the dust, there were several very large footprints. What do you think these footprints could be? Asked George. I think they are bear footprints, answered Sylvia. A bear, Sylvia? There aren't any bears around here. The closest bears are hundreds of miles away. Then I have no idea. But let's get out of here. Suddenly, the two friends heard a noise in the kitchen. Sylvia and George ran to the room. They could not believe their eyes. A big, hairy creature was standing in the kitchen. It quickly turned, went out the back door and ran away. The creature made a lot of noise. It even broke the door as it left. George and Sylvia stood still. یعنی سرجاشون خشکشون زد. The creature disappeared into the woods. Sylvia couldn't speak. What was that? George asked. They didn't know. That was chapter 1. Let's have a review. Summary. Sylvia and George go hiking around Lake Ullswater. این چیزیه که شما بعد از جیس از کلیتش گرفته باشید. چکیده داستان. سیلویا و جورج رفتن پیاده روی اطراف رودخونه دریاچه اولزواتر. They come to the lake. اونا اومدن دریاچه. Near the lake there is an old house and a boat. نزدیک دریاچه یه خونه قدیمی و یه قایق بود. They go on the lake in the boat. اونا رفتن روی دریاچه توی قایق. Then they hear a noise. بعدش یه صدایی شنیدن. They go back the house and go in. اونا برگشتن به خونه و رفتن داخل. In the kitchen they see a strange creature. تو آشپزخونه اونا یه موجود عجیب میبینن. The creature runs out of the house. اون موجود میدوه از خونه بیرون. It goes into the woods. میدوه به سمت جنگل. Sylvia and George don't know what the creature is. سیلویا و جورج نمیدونن این چه موجودیه. Let's go for comprehension questions. Select one answer only for each question. یک جواب. Sylvia and George are in London, the Lake District, Scotland, Southwest England. Where are they? Where were they? The Lake District. Yeah. Sylvia and George are making an excursion to a lake, beach, small town, city. They are making an excursion to the lake. While walking along a path, Sylvia and George come across a small town, city, store, and house. تو راه به کجا رسیدن؟ به چی رسیدن؟ The house. When they see the boat on the lake, they don't go in it. They sleep in it. They decide it's not safe to get in. They row to the middle of the lake. Row to the middle of the lake یعنی پارو زدن به وسط دریاچه. So, they row to the middle of the lake. While on the lake, وقتی رو دریاچه‌اند, Sylvia and George hear a sound in it. وقتی رو دریاچه‌اند صدای boat, house, lake, woods. یه صدا در house, خونه میشنون. That was chapter 1 of the excursion. Thank you very much for being with me.